Huh. Huh. Well, that's interesting. That's a spooky, spooky clown truck there, fellas. How you doing? Happy Friday. It's good to see everybody. It's good to hear from you. Joe says, did anybody buy the game Hot Shots Racing yet? Well, I did. I bought it yesterday on Steam. I thought it was going to be available on the Game Pass, but alas, no, it is not Game Pass for PC. It is only Game Pass for the console, which is one of the reasons I am looking forward to buying an Xbox Series S or X when they drop or when they are available. Pretty much that's it, because it's not like Xbox has announced any games I'm dying to play yet. Of course, I'm interested in what Tim Schafer's doing. I'm very interested in what this team down the road from Sony Santa Monica is doing. I think they're called The Initiative or something. Those guys have pulled a bunch of people away from Sony Santa Monica, let alone companies all over the industry. So I think the rumor is they're working on a Perfect Dark update, which is stupid. It's so stupid. I mean, it's not, the game may not be stupid. The game may be game of the year, but the idea that Perfect Dark is this kind of, steeped in lore, steeped in love property that people are dying for, I don't quite believe that. I think they could have started something fresh. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to playing that. I love Wasteland 3. I can fathom, but I'm excited to see what Brian Fargo and the boys and the ladies over there at In Exile do with a lot of Microsoft money from scratch. If you played Wasteland 3, you know one of the biggest problems with that goddamn game is the load times, because they built the fucking thing in Unity, but they were acquired by Microsoft mid-production of Wasteland 3, so it's not that they're going to go back and change the engine. So can you imagine, if you've played Wasteland 3, you know how great it is. Imagine what that game is going to be like from scratch with the Microsoft budget. So it's good stuff. It's good times over there. But at the moment, I plan on buying one. But we're going to talk a little bit today about that little beat I just dropped. Now, you guys do a mix to it and put some music under it, and we're going to be going. We're going to be having a number one hit, fellas. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Let me check the super chat first, because Mupo just dropped the first super chat of the day. Mupo's a goddamn rich motherfucker from Chile, and he's always putting sexually suggestive... He's always... I don't feel it. No, I don't feel the character. He's always putting sexually suggestive things in the chat, which makes me both uncomfortable and a little bit aroused, and he's always dropping some cash. He says, I saw Raising Kratos. He's talking about the documentary on YouTube, which is a really well-made documentary about the making of the recent God of War. It has all my buddies over there, Max Ankar, Shannon Studstill, Corey Barlog. You should watch it. It's a good 1.5, almost 2-hour documentary. He says he saw it. Making a game is damn hard. It is absolutely fucking difficult. It is a hard fucking process. It is, because you are mixing, Mupo. You are mixing all... I mean, you don't know... I mean, you are basically... I told my brother that... maybe that documentary is one of the best ways you can understand what it's like, because you've got all these talented people It's not like on a movie set where you've got the director, the producer, the writer, and a couple of stars, and everyone else there is sadly, but truthfully, easily replaceable. They don't make tons of money. Yeah, they're unionized, but it's like, oh, the grip's giving you a hard time or he doesn't believe in the vision. No problem. There's 50 other grips you can hire. With video games, these are highly paid, highly educated, highly trained people that have to come together to execute this thing. So there are political issues with game making, technical issues with game making, but I mean, it's a fucking nightmare. But when it works, it's fucking beautiful, man. It's fucking beautiful. But we're going to talk about the Xbox Series S. Some developers having some concerns. I don't give a fuck about tech and consoles. My favorite game of the year is Ultra Kill. That goddamn thing could have been made 15 years ago. One of my favorite games of the last few months is Hot Shot Racing. That game could have been made 20 years ago. It's not the technology that scares me. It's or interests me. It's the business aspect of what these developers are saying. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about rumored PlayStation 5 prices. Apparently today there was a realtor in Germany that updated their webpage. So the rumor is maybe they got the skinny and they jumped before they should have. We're going to talk about that. What else are we talking about before we get to Ace Combat today? We're going to be talking about, I'm going to show you some amazing art. We're going to play a really cool board game demo, and we're going to play it together. Excuse me. I got you guys know it's shedding season here in Casa Jaffe. I got a beautiful, wonderful, sweet Labradane. He's a cross between a Labrador Retriever and a Great Dane, but he sheds like a motherfucker, and all his hair gets up my nose because here's what he's wanting to do. He likes to put his head down on the pillow like he's a person. Okay, and me and my oldest kid, Sarah, we think it's the cutest goddamn thing in the world. So we'll go in there. He's on her bed right now. He's got his head on her pillow. We'll go in there and we'll put him under the covers and we'll give him a little stuffed animal and he'll put it in his little arm and we'll just have his head peeking out under the covers. And we think it's the cutest thing on the planet and we can't help but snuggle and smother the damn thing with kisses. And then all the fucking hair gets up my nose. Then it goes from my nose down to my sinuses and now it's all in my throat. So if I'm making all kind of sounds today, that's why. That's why. We're also going to be talking about a 9/11 virtual reality experience because today obviously is the anniversary of the tragedy of 9/11. A lot of you guys weren't even born for it. A lot of you ladies weren't even born for it. I was there. I was working on Twisted Metal Black, and we were starting God of War. We're going to talk a little bit about that in this VR experience. We're going to talk about multiplayer games. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. I gotta alert you guys to something I was only peripherally aware of regarding PAX online, and it's pretty fucking cool. But it became clear to me today. So there's a lot of good game stuff, geek stuff to talk about. I got to show you an amazing trailer for Godzilla vs. King Kong that just dropped. There's a bunch of shit. And then we're going to take a little break, 5-6 minute break. And then we're going to jump into some Ace Combat. I don't know if that's a good game to stream. I've never played it. If it sucks, we'll go back to RE4. Before we do any of that, though, as you know, I like to check in with the chat. Let's see what the chat is up to, what they're saying. Caden says, I wish he would change the thumbnail. What can I do for you, Caden? What do you need from me, sir? What thumbnail don't you like? Who's bothering you now, Caden? Let me know, though. Let me know. Because did the thumbnail not update? This thumbnail should be the Ace Combat thumbnail. Will you hand pump a balloon until it pops like you did 10 years ago? Yes, if I had one, Trey. That's back when the toy stores were open and you could go in before Corona. And I bought, this was a beautiful toy. It was this air pump and these really long fucking super balloons. And you pump it up like it's an air pump. And this, you can see this on YouTube, but here's what it was designed for. This motherfucker thing gets insanely long, and you're supposed to go out in the neighborhood and release it, and it flies all over the neighborhood. But there's a video where I'm just like, I'm going to fucking blow this up until it pops, and I want to get my reaction. That's what he's talking about. Mupo, goodness gracious, the second super chat of the day, he says, here, Jaffe, have a banana. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know I appreciate that. Michael Monkey Punch says, how you been, Jaffe? I've been good. Let me think for a minute. I'm not gonna be one of the I'm good. I'm gonna give you an answer. You ask me a question, you deserve a good fucking answer. How have I been? I've been good. I've been working a lot, on the stream, which I love. But I think come this weekend, even though I do want to get 1 or 2 edits done on Saturday, I think come this weekend, Michael Monkey Punch, I would very much like to take a bit of a break so I come back Monday refreshed. So I'm hoping this weekend there's a lot of good new stuff to stream. You know what I really kind of have a craving to do, which is crazy, is I want to subscribe to Hulu live TV, because I have all the services, but I don't have live TV anymore. I haven't needed it. But the idea of waking up tomorrow, making French toast, and sitting on the couch all weekend long and watching just shit live TV, not on demand, not Netflix, not, Amazon Prime, just I'll put CNN on, I'll watch some Fox, even though I hate it, I'll watch the fucking TNN channel and watch tractor pulls. I just want to sit and just, veg out in front of live TV. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I remember being in 6th or 7th grade when 9/11 happened, says Troy, and I made a dumb joke because I didn't quite grasp the severity. I understand. I was lying in bed. I was married at the time. I got a phone call from my dad. I've talked about this in the stream before, but it's worth mentioning again given the day. I got a phone call from my dad, and he says, and the way he said it was so, I'll never forget the semantics of it. He says, they got the Pentagon and they got the World Trade Center. It wasn't like, oh, these planes, or we think it might be a terrorist attack. It was they got. In his mind, because he was in Alabama and he was already up, he was 2 hours ahead. He had already connected the dots. He's like, he knew we were under attack. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, aren't you watching the news? We're like, no. It was nuts. It was nuts. We were right in the middle of working, about to launch Twisted Metal. We may have already launched Twisted Metal. And I was starting God of War. And I have pictures. I think I put them on a video once for YouTube, where I went to New York City with the head of marketing to go to all the magazines in New York, because this was magazine at the time, not really internet, to pitch Twisted Metal Black. And I'd never been to New York. And so I have a picture of me standing at the base of both World Trade Center towers, with the camera shooting up at me, and the towers there. And a couple of months later, they were gone. It was fucking crazy. Hogwash says people die every day. They do, Hogwash, but they don't die. They don't die usually in such big numbers. And they also don't die because a group of people somewhere around the world have said, we want to kill a bunch of innocent Americans. However, let's be clear. The political stream is coming up Sunday. We can talk more about this then. But how innocent are we? Are the people who died in the World Trade Center innocent as humans? Sure. Did the people who died in the World Trade Center and all the people who didn't die in the World Trade Center, did we elect officials and allow them in our name as a republic to do things that angered a proportion of the world? And if we maybe were more civic minded, we would have said, wait a minute. We need to think about what you elected officials are doing. Yeah, that's possibly true as well. Again, I'm not saying 9/11 was horrible. I'm glad we shot Osama bin Laden dead. I think it's wonderful. Fuck that guy. Fuck Al-Qaeda. Fuck the Taliban. However, it's not as simple as a lot of people like to say. But that said, it's tragic. And let me tell you one more thing. Nia Jax is a WWE wrestler. She tweeted out today. She retweeted out today. Some other WWE wrestler whose dad died in the World Trade Center collapse. And what was really interesting to me about this was there were pictures of her as a baby, the retweeting wrestler. I don't know. Hogwash is watching. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, Hogwash. She's not one of the bigger ones, but she's a main player. She's a superstar. And there were pictures of her father when she was a little girl, and the father died. And the weirdest thing was, it was the first time, Zelina Vega, that sounds right. It was the first time that I had seen this like through history, because, I was there. I was an adult. I was married. I was about to have my first kid. It doesn't seem like history to me. It seems like, yeah, that happened recently, even though I know it didn't intellectually. But to see pictures of her father in his early 2000s attire, and seeing the fading of the photograph, because I guess they weren't digital photographs at the time that she were taking, was just really strange. And it made it go like, wow, this is now history. This is something that a lot of people watching this stream have no connection with, just like Pearl Harbor. I mean, you play Medal of Honor, Pacific Rim, I think is what it was called. Was it the one in the Pacific, obviously? And it opens with Pearl Harbor, and it's entertainment now. Michael Bay puts out a movie, Pearl Harbor. Midway comes out. It's entertainment. EA puts out a game, and they can say how emotional it is and how respectful it is. It's fucking entertainment. How fun is the opening Pearl Harbor level? Not fun enough. No worries. Let's throw in some more Japanese F-Zeros, right? We're getting there with 9/11. And what I'm going to show you in a minute, I'm going to show you this. This was done a couple of years back, but this is a virtual reality experience of basically being trapped in the towers. And I've never played it, but it makes me want to. It makes me want to. A federal appeals court, says Joe, dismissed a lawsuit Wednesday that who claimed the World Wrestling Entertainment failed to protect them from head injuries. Oh, yeah. Vince, mark my words, Vince McMahon, unless he is totally playing a character, he's the guy who runs WWE, that motherfucker's going to end up in jail. He is not a good boss. He is not a good boss. He just told his not even employees. He told this is amazing to me. He told contract workers at the WWE, like, at the time, back in the day it would have been The Rock, but he told like Asuka, and he told Charlotte Flair, all the fucking wrestlers, right? He's like, you can't use social media anymore and use your names. He says you can't use your wrestling names. That's fair. But then he's also saying you can't even use associations that you're a wrestler. And that's how a lot of these people are making money as well. They have to drive themselves from event to event. They have to pay for their own fucking hotels. They have to pay for their own health insurance. It's like, fuck you, Vince McMahon. Anyway, he is a piece of shit. I agree. Okay. Chris has a 9/11 memory. He says, I went to bed at 4 a.m. after gaming all night. My roommate woke me up going, we just got bombed. Yeah, it was terrifying. It was terrifying. Hello, Dub Rotatos, and hello, Extra Large Cox is here. I've been waiting for Extra Large Cox all day. I'm so glad you slid in to the chat, sir. Vince is being sued by shareholders, says Heath, for his constant lying and the whole Saudi Arabia ordeal. Yeah, he something's going to happen to him. That's for goddamn sure. Wait a minute. I got to read this. This went back up the stream. This is the wrestler you're referring to is Zelina Vega. Her dad was on the 103rd floor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Right. Wait a minute. Retro, you were in New York. You were on the Long Beach Bridge, and you saw the second tower fall in real time. Insane. Absolutely insane. So here's something interesting, because I was thinking about this today as well. And again, this is not the political stream. I do a political stream once a week. It'll be on Sunday. Tune in for that if you care. But it is an interesting question that we will talk about on Sunday. Where did it go? I think it was it Cott who did it? He says, is it safe to say that COVID tops 9/11 in terms of the devastation it has caused? Well, it's mathematical to say. I mean, we're in America alone, next week we'll be at 200,000 dead. And you still have people in America saying it's a hoax. We'll talk about that Sunday. This isn't the chat for it. But yeah, of course, 3,000 people is a tragedy. 200,000 people, especially that we could have prevented both to some extent. That's a goddamn nightmare. Rob says, I was watching 9/11 on TV. I didn't process it. I wanted to go back and play video games. My parents were crying. Well, yeah, you were a kid. You were absolutely a kid. What else could you do? Now let me show you this thing. Let me show you this thing. Bacon Magma, good to see you, sir. Always good to see you, sir. Now Rob says he's played this. It wasn't very good. This is and again, how good is it supposed to be? But there's a streamer, and I'm going to show you this streamer. And he's playing it. His reaction might be a little over the top. Bacon Magma, I haven't watched Cuties yet. I'm going to watch it before the stream on Sunday because we're talking about the actual movie Sunday. So this basically a lot of this experience got a lot of shit. It's called 846, which I guess is when one of the towers collapsed, right? And a lot of people were very upset with it, which I can understand, but at the same time, wow, what an interesting idea for an experience to make you feel God, I mean, what it would have been like, you know? I mean, what a fascinating, horrific thing to create in virtual reality. Again, it was a student project. Apparently, it wasn't that good. But let me show you. Let me show you this streamer. Let me make it big here. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but just I wish he'd move his fucking camera. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of the frame. But anyway, here he is. And you've got this. You're playing yourself, and then there's this woman and this guy, and they're in the tower. You can. It's real low poly, low budget. You can see the smoke in the background of the tower they're in, and they're talking like, "What do we do?" Let me turn up the volume a little. And so he's walking over to the window. You're seeing both screens if you're confused, because back then when they broadcast VR, this was a few years ago. That's how they had to broadcast it. So this guy's starting to cry now. I don't know. That lady's calling.
Oh my God.
That lady's calling his mom or her mom.
Mom, fuck, sick of God.
So I don't know how real this seems a little. I mean, again, Rob, you played it. You said it wasn't very good, so I can't imagine how emotional it was. But it is amazing, though.
God, it's so hot. I can't breathe.
So she can't breathe. She's saying it's so hot.
I can't breathe.
Now, this is where it gets really intense, though, in a second. Keep an eye on this guy back here.
It will only draw the fire closer to us. That's a really bad idea.
Listen, either we do it or we stay here, suffocating, waiting for some help that won't come.
Interesting. Retro says it'd be freaky if they use the actual recordings. Yeah, that's not, but that would be amazing. The dude's crying, Emma. I think it's, I mean, again, maybe he's really sensitive. Maybe he lost someone on 9/11, or maybe he's just a streamer trying to get people's attention. I don't fucking know. I know that if I played this, I would be like, this is intense. This is kind of crazy, maybe, but I don't think I would cry over it. But again, I haven't experienced it, but it does seem a little fake. Okay, so that guy breaks a window. Watch this. This is crazy. Because we know, I mean, this shit happened. This was real. This was a real event. I mean, obviously, Jaffe, but what the people in the buildings went through, we know, because of phone calls and what we saw from the outside. I mean, I don't know. I would have probably done the same fucking thing that this guy's about to do. Probably I would have. I don't know what you would have done, but, I mean, he's thinking about jumping. Look at him.
Doing, step back. I'm going to fall.
I won't die in this fire, suffocating like a dog. Do you really think there is a chance rescue come to us? For all we know, there is a freaking plane burning just a few floors below.
Please step back. You want
And there he goes. I mean, think about that. I mean, terrible. So, Rob, you played this. I mean, what was it? I'm assuming, Rob, when you watch this, you think the streamer is probably full of shit, or he's just really sensitive. I mean, that's a pretty intense thing to happen. Joe says, I think people did jump. People absolutely jumped. You can see video of it. Lots of people jumped. Now he's going to take it off. Wait, so is the player able to do anything? No, I think you just experience it. You might be playing one of the victims that's up there, but I don't think you can interact or stop anyone or, collect a trophy or, But so, yeah, then his reaction, whatever. But it's odd. Again, I don't know. It seems a little fake to me, but the game that's pretty fucking intense. That's fucking 9/11. Yeah, the falling man is a famous photograph. That's right. I would have jumped. I would have fucking jumped. I mean, I would have jumped. I don't think I would have jumped with the assumption that I'm going to make it. Like I guess you could maybe somewhere in your brain go, okay, there's the possibility if I jump, maybe I'll get lucky and hit the ground a specific way. But at least it's better than dying in the fucking fire. Somebody's asking, Jaffe says, Heath, do you believe they did or should have watched documentaries like 0 Hour? I don't know what 0 Hour is. So, I mean, obviously the the more research they did, the better. Obviously there's a lot of different theories about 9/11. But I don't know if 0 Hour is a conspiracy movie or if 0 Hour is just like, actually, this is what happened. There's a phone call from that day that ended horrifically. Oh, I'm sure there is. There were some people who got away from an elevator shaft. Yep. Yeah, so 616 says you're that far up, you're like jelly, Jaffe, when you hit the ground, there's no living. I'd still rather go out that way. I mean, what do I know? You'd have to experience it. But if somebody said, okay, you're going to die 100%, you can hit the ground and possibly die on the way down of a heart attack, but almost definitely die instantly on impact and feel nothing. Or you can burn up alive in a fire or get crushed by... I'd jump. I think the only way human body would allow you to jump out a window if it was inside, if you were inside an excruciatingly hot building. Yeah, no, of course. I'm not Googling the Falling Man. You can Google it yourself. That's virtual. I'm not going to fucking, for the sake of my stream, I'm not going to suddenly start putting up horrible footage. But you can look it up. There's a whole documentary called The Falling Man. It's terrifying. Has there been a good movie about 9/11? There was, I mean, I didn't see Oliver Stone's. There was a movie called, it was a Hulu movie. It's something called When the Towers Fell or something with Jeff Bridges, which was really good. It was about leading up to it and about the FBI and the CIA and the NSA struggling to get their facts straight together. And Jeff Bridges kind of played a security analyst. It was quite good. I read some people survive parachutes not opening. I've read that too. I mean, there are those rare cases, Joe. That's true. There was a Nick Cage movie, Cooper. That was, I think, the Oliver Stone movie. 6 says, I'd jump too if I was certain no one could get to me. It would be an amazing experience, the falling. It's not like you feel pain. Right, exactly. Do you believe that bin Laden was actually behind this? Do I believe the official story? I believe enough of the official story that it's more plausible to me than more plausible to me than some of the conspiracy stuff I've heard. But we can talk about that Sunday. We can put in we can put that. We'll make that a topic for Sunday if people want to talk about 9/11 and conspiracies and stuff. Here we're talking about games, and one of the things I'm going to show you has to do with flying. It's not intentional that today is a flying stream. It's 9/11. We're going to play Ace Combat. Maybe we can fantasize. We could have shot those fucking planes down. But this is interesting. We just talked about it yesterday. I didn't show you guys. People are already modding Microsoft Flight Sim. This is pretty cool. I deleted it from my hard drive. I didn't like it. It's a big fucking chunky experience. Takes a lot of resources. I don't know if this stuff's enough to make me go back. Somebody basically put Hogwarts in there. And you can basically, I mean, it's detailed, right? I wasn't able to get close to the ground. I don't know if there's a ceiling in Flight Sim or if there was a setting I didn't put. But people are basically going in and modding the Earth and putting in all kinds of shit. There's a Quidditch match in Hogwarts. This is Hagrid, whatever the fuck his name is, his little pumpkin patch and shed. And then my favorite, somebody put Godzilla in there. There's old Godzilla. I think it's San Francisco. Look at that shit. Somebody put Godzilla in Microsoft Flight Sim. So I am excited by that. I like that a lot. Was it a fight to get the plane you can shoot down in Twisted Metal? No, because that tray, if you don't know what Trey's talking about, in the first level of Twisted Metal Black, which was called Zorko Brothers Junkyard, which was built in honor of my dad's junkyards, because he used to own and run junkyards in the South, you could shoot a passenger plane down. It crashed into the back of an old factory and opened up a secret area. That game came out in June of 2001. That was in the commercial. Obviously, September 11th was September 11th, 2001. And so when that happened, Sony was going to start marketing it again as we got to the fall and Christmas season. And they're like, yeah, we have to pull this commercial. We don't really want to support this that much. Wonton John, thank you so much for the follow over on YouTube. Appreciate it, sir. And so that was it. But no, there was no sense of we're going to pull it. I don't know if they pulled it when it came out to Europe. They cut a lot out of the game for the European release. It may have been too late. I don't know. Game Day Sam says, hello, Uncle Jaffe. I hope you're good. I thought I would drop by. Sorry I couldn't stay, but I love you. I love you too, sir. Just imagine if Godzilla moved. Yeah, I agree. That would be really fucking cool. But I think he's just a model. But this is pretty fucking cool that people are doing that shit, man. I may end up reinstalling it once there's a lot more of these landmarks, because then of course I'm interested. But when I was test flying Ace Combat for today's stream, what a joy that I could get close to the ground. Because when I played Microsoft Flight Sim, and again, I don't know if I just didn't have a setting right, but there was I would crash if I got below, let's say, 10,000 feet. So I couldn't fly between the buildings or anything. I'm sure you can do that, I think, but there was an invisible thing, and it's like, you're about to crash. I'm like, I'm fucking way up in the air. And then I hit this invisible layer, this death volume, and it killed me. I'm like, fuck this game. I'm not playing it. I'm going to tell you something. Okay, Bacon Magma says, for some reason this topic was big every year at my school, which is 9/11. Every time they told us, I was like, I don't care. Is that weird? I don't know. Are you weird? Look, I think if you didn't live through it, it's just history. I mean, when you start talking about the dead and those numbers, unless you were there or you were alive during the day, it's just this thing you've been told about. Again, like Pearl Harbor. And you start getting into numbers of the dead in the thousands, even in the hundreds. It's hard for the brain to fathom. That's why, we've lost 200,000 Americans in the last 6 months from COVID. What are you going to do? Right? How does the brain comprehend 200,000 people? So I don't know if you're weird for not caring, or maybe you are. Maybe you're just an asshole. I have no idea. Bruno dropped a super chat. I appreciate that, sir. He says a Godzilla game in VR would be amazing. I'm almost certain that there are games with giant monsters in VR on Oculus Rift. I could be wrong. Rob could tell you, because he apparently has been playing the Rift lately. I haven't. My Rift's in my closet. I haven't turned it on in ages. It's wonderful, but it kind of runs its course. Okay. That's why they don't show the crashes, says Jason, because of 9/11. 9/11 is still vivid in your head. Well, I understand they don't show the crashes, sort of, but at the same time, they should at least let you get to the building and then they cut to black and go, okay, you crash. But you crash in this game way up high. Nadeem says 9/11 still impacts the world every day, not just from the attack, but from the U.S. response. Oh, of course. It absolutely changed America. It fundamentally changed America, 100%. I did see, Eric, the rumor that Microsoft has a third console. I thought that was interesting. They're calling it the Xbox Series V, I think. Okay, let's jump to Xbox for a moment. I want to talk about this because, as you guys know, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this. Is more powerful than that. I don't care. I like my games. I like to play. Graphics are great. They wear off after 20 minutes. Who gives a shit? I mean, it's impressive, but I'm moving with my life, and it's the gameplay that I care about. But this is interesting. So the Xbox Series X, which is the $299 version of the new Xbox coming out, it's obviously gimped. It's obviously, is that a bad term to say, gimped? It's lesser than the Xbox Series X. But it's still potent. It's more powerful than the Xbox One X. IGN, correctly or incorrectly, depends who you ask, actually said that the processor's faster in the S than the PS5. I don't know if that's true, but what developers are saying, and this is why it matters, not because of the graphics, but because what it might mean for business. What developers are saying about this box is that there is enough of a limit on the processor and the graphics processor and the RAM in the box that unless you're going to be maybe first-party Microsoft and you're going to up your budgets and say, look, we are setting aside more money to develop different assets when you're making a game for the S and a game for the X, even though Microsoft has said publicly anything that runs, at least for a long while, on the S will exist on the X. The X will look better. It might run faster, but you can play it on either system, right? Eventually, there will be Xbox Series X games that are exclusive, but not for the first year to couple years. Okay, so unless Microsoft set money aside and said, that monster, we're going to spend 5 more days on that monster for the X, but for the S, it's good enough, Maybe they can afford to do it, but they've demanded, my understanding is all third-party games. So Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed Valhalla has to run on the S and it has to run on the X. Well, most developers, and that's what a lot of these developers are saying, 'cause these are not like, indies that have never made a game except for like, Steam. These are guys who work at id Software. These are heavy hitters. They're saying, look, we don't make multiple assets depending on the hardware. We always design and develop to the lowest spec that we know we're going to run on, and then we upscale everything best we can. But we're not making Rage 3, probably not making it at all, with like 4 different versions of the Dune buggy. It's not in the budget. It's not what we do. So then the question becomes, either the S is going to come out and just be a monster, and developers are going to be forced to deal with this bottleneck, which means that across the board, including PlayStation third party, you're going to have games that don't look and or perform as good as they could. Or Microsoft, as much as I love what they've been doing recently, could very well be shitting the bed with this mandate, and you're going to have a lot of developers say, fuck this, we're going to work only on PlayStation 5 because we're not going to put out substandard products, especially if the S isn't some massive success. So I just think that's really interesting that the day or the 2 days after they drop the price, developers are kind of coming out of the woodwork saying, well, here might be a little bit of a problem. Now, Xbox is a smart company. All these people, I've worked at Sony for 20 something years, right? My experience with these big companies is they're not run by idiots. They have really smart, brainy people there. I can't imagine this is news to them. So my gut is maybe this is Chicken Little, the sky is falling, and they got this worked out. I don't know, but you think if they had it worked out, id would know about it, but there it is. Jaffe, did you see IGN trying to say Xbox Series X was faster than the PS5? I did 12 teraflop brute force, and you're laughing and giving me a thumbs up. I don't know if it's true or not. I've seen people online saying it is true. People online saying IGN's crazy. I don't have the technical background to absolutely know. Matt says this is an amazing choice for people who only play Call of Duty or FIFA or Madden. I think it's an amazing choice for a lot of people. I will absolutely, I'm going to buy an Xbox now because of the things. Whether I get an S or an X really depends. You really won't be able to appreciate the X unless you're like a 8K television guy for a while. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to buy first. Eddie says Phil Spencer's the worst thing to happen to the brand. I think the jury, the historians have yet to write the chapter on Phil Spencer. I think we have to wait. Look, if these dice get rolled at Christmas and it's a clusterfuck, you're absolutely right. But Game Pass has been a huge success. I have seen articles. I'm not tooting my own horn because it wasn't that wise. It wasn't that wise. It was obvious. But how many times over the last year on this very stream did I tell you motherfuckers, I says, look, Game Pass is going to be a meaningful weapon in the next generation war. I'm using those terms intentionally. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a meaningful aspect to their business. And Sony is going to have to get on board. No, it's stupid. I like to buy my games. I like to own my games. That's not going to matter. Okay, for you, it might not matter. How many articles have I seen today and yesterday? Probably 10 of people going, oh shit, Sony's got to step it up now with PS Now. Exactly what we've been talking about on this stream, okay? So the idea that this box is only going to sell to casuals, I think it's going to sell to gamers, not hardcore elite gamers that watch streams like this or go to, Kotaku or wherever, whatever you go to. But it's going to sell to not just Call of Duty bros. It's going to sell to a lot of people over the holidays that aren't just that. Someone at Remedy Games was saying something similar. The S is 4 teraflops versus 12 on the X. Right, exactly. So, but I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. The other thing that's related that I thought was interesting was this. This comes out today. This is from a shop in Germany. And here's why it's interesting. There's been some rumors, and they can't be verified. You can make this shit up. This is just NeoGAF. But there's been some rumors, and I first saw it on NeoGAF, and then I saw it over on Reddit, where somebody was saying Sony, after getting surprised by the $299 and the $499 from Xbox, is having to make some adjustments and move some shit around. Makes sense. I think most people were surprised by $299. It's hard to believe Sony wasn't, but let's assume they weren't. What they're saying, though, is that this company comes out from Germany, and a couple of days ago, they had different price points. The price points changed. So the price point went from $499 for the non-digital, for the non-disc drive, to $399. It dropped $100. The $499 was the normal version. Now was $599. So if this is to be believed, and if a very big retailer in Germany is to be believed, there's got to be a reason they changed their website. And I believe they're already taking pre-orders. They changed their website and dropped the price from $399 for the non-disc, $499 for the disc. Now, this is in lira, I think. I don't know what that symbol is, so I don't know what that translates to American dollars. But either way, it's 100 less than this. Does anybody watching the stream know what this symbol is? Is this lira? It's not pounds. And what the conversion rate is? Is this how equivalent is this to American dollars? Or pounds. Jaffe, I think you are underestimating the PlayStation. There's a global movement behind them. I mean, when I see casuals talking about games, they're talking about PS5 or maybe Switch. That's euros? Okay, fine. So what is $3.99 euros in American? I can look it up, but okay. So you may be right, Bacon. Bacon says I'm underestimating the PlayStation brand. I'm not saying the PlayStation brand's going to get its ass handed to it. I'm just saying that, if the S comes out and it's a big mover and shaker and Activision says we can't afford not to have our products on Activision, and at least for the first two, or on Xbox, and at least for the first 2 years, Xbox demands that if we're going to be on the X, we have to be on the S. I don't imagine, they're going to say, okay, China, is it okay? Because they get all their orders from China clearly. Is it okay that we spend the money to make assets for the X and the PS5 and different assets for the S? Which means that you might end up having a devaluation of the visual fidelity and or the performance across the board on next generation. Okay, so $399 in American dollars is $472. So if this is correct, they're basically saying, and it may not be correct, it's not verified, but it is on a professional, it's like Best Buy. It's like in Germany. It's not like it's on some mom and pop store. So if that's correct, this is equivalent to saying they dropped the price from $550 for the PS5 digital only to $450 for the PS5 digital. And then this, I guess, they dropped the price from $550. They dropped the price from $650 to $550, which that's pretty fucking interesting. Jaffe, I feel like Sony has the financial stability to undercut Xbox. I don't know, Eric. I don't really know. I mean, what you're basically saying is Sony can afford to cut, if these numbers are correct. Let's just say $399 because I see that on my screen. You guys are saying, okay, so $499 is $590 in American dollars. So if this, okay, wait a minute. So that's not realistic. Sony's not a moron. So this can't be right. If this right here is $590 US, let's just say $600 in America, and this dropped, it was $700 for a PS5? I can't believe that. So Retro says this is now currently $500 in America and $600 in America if you want the digital or the non-digital only. That's pretty hard to imagine Sony, after getting their ass handed to them over PS3 at $599, would do that. So we'll find out. But whether or not, Eric, you're right that they can undercut Microsoft, I mean, let's put it that way. If that's the currency, you're basically saying, can they go from $450 down to, they've already cut $100. You're asking them to cut off $250? John, don't say that. John says, oh no, PS3 prices all over again. I don't think so. Sony, again, just like Sony's run by smart people. There's no way Jim Ryan and Scott Rohde and all those guys that work on Shuhei, they're not going to sit around and go, yeah, let's $700. They're not doing that. They're not fucking doing that. They can't. This is ridiculous. Microsoft does have more money, though, Troy. I think that's correct. It could be wrong, but I think Microsoft's a bigger company. Okay, so 9Live says Sony doesn't have to undercut, they'll sell out. Okay, 9Lives, let's be clear. You're suggesting to me, we're going to move on from this because this is just speculation. We don't fucking know. I'm going to talk about when we will know because I think that's becoming very clear very quickly. But you're telling me that you think the market is so hungry for PlayStation 5 that unless they have an incredibly small initial run, that they're going to sell out a $599 console? I mean, you may be right, but goddamn, I certainly don't think that's a price that's going to fly after the initial hardcore pick it up. Heath says, why would you raise the price $100 for a normal PS5 with a disc drive? Because I don't think you're only factoring in the disc drive. I think you're factoring in, if for example, if you buy the console with the discless drive, you are beholden to Sony's walled garden of PlayStation Network, meaning you can't sell your games back, you can't buy used games, you can't get deals when Best Buy says come in for Christmas, you buy 2, you get 1 free. You're totally at the mercy of their business model. My gut would tell me that it's not just a hardware jump, it's also dealing with the financial ecosystem that they put in that $100, assuming it is $100, and maybe that's where they're saving some cost. Again, we don't know if these numbers are true. My gut tells me that $100 would probably take into account not just the hardware shift, but the assumption that people who have the disk drive are going to get savings, and Sony will be leaving money on the table from those people because you can buy your disc anywhere for all kinds of deals and things like that. So Bacon says, yes, they will sell out at first. They sold out PS3. Okay, so they might sell out day one, but I don't think this is a mass market product if they're selling it for that much. Come on now. I agree, Trey. PS is trying to nudge everybody to go digital. PS would love everybody to go digital. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying the disk drive is worth $100. I think having the disk drive is worth $100 to Sony, and that what they think they might lose. The Series X is a loss leader, says Jason. Siri thinks I'm talking to her. Series X, Siri. Series X is a loss leader for sure. $499. The chip alone is rumored to cost $500. Yeah, none of us really fucking know. But it may be a loss leader. Maybe they're willing to do it. No worries. That's what I'm saying, says Eric. They're not stupid to sell a perceived less powerful console for a bigger price. I think the reason PS5 is less powerful so they can sell it for cheaper. You really, okay, I'll be fascinated if again, that would be great. I don't care. But I'm going to have both of them eventually. But if you're telling me, Eric, you're under the impression that the PS5 is going to come out at $299 and $499 or even less, I can't fathom you being correct on that, but we'll find out. We'll find out soon. When will we find out soon? Well, here's the rumor. Now, let me before we, Sony's going to get, here's the lead. Sony's giving a demo or giving some kind of presentation at PAX next week. PAX Online. Great. We'll get to that. Have you guys seen what PAX is doing? This is fucking amazing. This is next week. It's actually running for 9 goddamn days. Hang on a second. It's 9 days. This so far looks to me to be the best version of an online conference that I have seen so far. This is, let's just go to the streams. My understanding is some of the streams will be live and some of the streams will be pre-recorded. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they have 11 different channels streaming from September 12th to the 21st. All of them have different numbers of streams in them. Let's just go to there are some heavy fucking hitters. Ted Price is interviewing Brian Fleming, who's the head of Sucker Punch. So you can watch them talk about Ghost Shishida and that studio. These aren't all just little indie things. These are big ticket streams. You don't have to pay anything. You can watch it live on your fucking computer. It's fucking awesome, right? So if you go to this site, if you just go to PAX, EGX.com, you can make your schedule. I mean, Gearbox is there. The creator of Tetris is there. This is just September 12th. This is just the pack. CD Projekt Red is there. I mean, Sid Meier is going to be there doing a one-on-one interview about his whole career. I mean, it's fucking amazing. You can say boring hogwash, but if you say boring, you're a fucking moron. Because if you love video games, or games in general, because it's board games too, this is the shit. It is free. I said Tsushima wrong. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm talking about. So that alone should get your panties in a bunch. Okay. Then though, this is amazing. Then they have the games. Now they haven't quite expressed. My assumption is, if you've ever been to PAX before, they are doing, you walk around the floor, you play a bunch of games. I don't know if this is going to be like Steam or if it's going to be their own thing, but these games will, quote, be on the virtual show floor, which means are they demos? Are they videos? They're probably a blend. But look, I mean, if you love games, I'm serious, man. I won't be leaving my computer. Fallout, all these games are going to be there. And you can, at your leisure, 24 hours, 24/7 for 9 days, so 24/9, you can just peruse the virtual aisles and educate yourself on all the cool shit that's coming out soon. Like, I'm looking at some of these, and I know I've already played demos for them. Like, Pumpkin Jack is a medieval ripoff. That I played a demo for on Steam last week. So I think you're going to get demos. So that's pretty cool. Then check this shit out. Look at the show floor. If you did Comic-Con Live, it was a disaster. Comic-Con Online gave you this horrible to look at map. You had to kind of zoom into numbers. You couldn't tell where. That's shit. But in 18 hours, this, quote, show floor opens, and you literally, I don't know if it's links to websites. Apparently they have new games, content, videos. They're selling shit. You can just, again, this excites me. I don't know if this excites you, chat, but I'm totally into this. I love conventions. I love pop culture conventions, and this is just the best layout I've seen. And then finally, you can go to retailers. They have their own show floor, and you can go here and you can buy shit, assuming you like little video game tchotchkes and board game tchotchkes and shit like that. So I think this is fucking great. Grape King says you will have to leave to get your pizza. No, I'll have somebody bring it into me, goddammit. This is great. If you're into this, and then again, Sony is going to be here. No one knows why, but it's pretty clear. I don't even know if that's true. I know a number of the Sony people are going to be there. I just said that Sucker Punch is going to be there. Insomniac's going to be there. I don't really know if Sony needs PAX. That seems like that doesn't seem very Sony. I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, Sony has an announcement or they're speaking at PAX. Maybe. Why would Sony need to affiliate with anyone? Why doesn't Sony just run a live stream? So we'll fucking see. Extra Large Cock says it's a bunch of shit I don't care about. Well, again, I care about it. I love fucking video games, man. If you love video games and you don't care about it, I would question how much you actually love video games. Joe says, why aren't all shows doing this to the extreme? They will and they are. Like I said, Comic-Con did it. New York Comic-Con did it. There's been a number of smaller conventions that did it. I think FanaFest did it. But this so far has been the best organized, the best laid out one, where it really feels like it's easy to navigate. It's easy to find things. There's tons of content. It looks like it links directly to demos that you want to play. That's pretty cool. They have a Discord. They have merch. I'm pretty excited. Do you get to talk to the devs or designers, Retro Queen? I don't know. My understanding is there are live streams in which some of these are panel discussions. Some of these are live streams. Some of these are trailers. So my gut would be on the live streams there will be Q&A, but I'm not entirely sure. Did you friend Booty Checks from yesterday? No, I did not. I played against him in the Sublime video game Hot Shot, the terribly named but sublimely playing video game Hot Shot Racing. I did play against him online. Yes, funny, Booty Cheeks, right. I've seen people online saying that game's not good. They're fucking crazy, man. Gamers are a bunch of fucking snobs. That game is great. It's not very deep. No. It's not loaded with content. It's 14 fucking bucks. Shut the fuck up. But it's really fucking fun. Wrath says, I promise you this is going to be garbage like Comic-Con Live. You may be right, Wrath. I don't, how much does it hurt for you to go to the fucking thing, Wrath, and try it out? I don't care. I'm going to be there. Look, if nothing else, I get to go play a bunch of fucking demos of games that you motherfuckers are like, I'm not playing that. It's crap. Fine. Stay home and fucking look at Pornhub or whatever. I'm going to fucking be home. I'm going to fucking be home. And I'm going to be looking at brand new fucking video games. You do what you want to do. Okay. Comic-Con is garbage? No, Comic-Con's awesome. Did you try Cops and Robbers on Hot Shots? No, because I could not get an online game. I don't think there's cross-play. My guess is more people are playing on an Xbox Game Pass console, and I don't have an Xbox. I got it on Steam. Okay. Speaking of all of this nonsense. Hang on. Speaking of what you get to do at PAX. Now, again, as you may know, we're about to play a game together, chat. We're gonna do it as friends do. We're gonna do it as friends do. I don't know why I sound like not Harvey Weinstein, Harvey Firestein. You probably don't know who that is. But anyway, what you get at PAX is not just video games. You get board games. Board games, as you know, have experienced a great renaissance in the last 5 years. They sell them everywhere now. People are playing them of all walks of life. It's not just for geeky dudes playing Axis and Allies. It's wonderful, right? So PAX is a big place for board games. There is a board game that I saw today that I never heard about, and I don't know if it's cool, but we can play a sample of it online together, and we're going to. This is a game called Micro Macro Crime City, okay? It is a huge map of really tiny, teeny, tiny images, almost like Where's Waldo, and this is how big it is when you actually buy it, okay? It's huge, and it comes with a magnifying glass, and it comes with cards, and you're basically trying to figure out, I guess, a mystery or some such shit. We're going to play one right now because they want to give you a sense of what the game is. And they say, hey, you want to play it before you buy it? There it is right there. There's the fucking thing. Look at that goddamn thing. That could be really fun if you're into board games with your kids, your family, your lady folks, your men folks, whatever you're into. That's pretty fucking cool, right? So, hello, Zan. Good to see you, sir. So, what they said is, hey, if you're interested, why don't you play this right now? I'm like, all right, we're going to play this together. We're playing this together. If it sucks, we'll stop. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you can't see it. You couldn't see any of that, could you? God damn it, Maverick. Hang on. I was showing you all this. Look, this is what it looks like. Sorry. This is the big map, right? So you acquire this. Comes with the cards. Comes with the magnifying glass. And it's a huge fucking map filled with all of this stuff. Okay. It is fine print. It is absolutely fine print. Okay. So they're basically saying... play this game. So we're playing this together. If it sucks, we won't play it. But we're going to play it together because I want to see if I want to buy this fucking thing. But this is the kind of stuff it sounds like you can do on PAX Online, right? You can go and actually experience shit. It's good stuff. Dungeon Dice Monsters. I have that game. I've never played it, though. Hot Chips. A man was shot dead in a dark corner west of Market Square. Many people heard the shot, but there's no trace of the perpetrator. So step one is we have to find the crime scene. This is a smaller version of the map. So we got to find this image, okay? So a man was shot dead in a dark corner west of Market Square. That's all we know right now. So what you would do if you had this game at home is and again, this is probably an eighth of the actual map. And you would zoom around and you would look for Market Square. Is this fun? I don't know. I'm playing this with you for the very first time. Mansions of Madness. What is that? Is that I want to say I played Betrayal at House on the Hill. Is that kind of the same thing? It's based off Arkham Horror. There's a resurgence of board games. There sure is. There's a great documentary called The Game Masters that just came out about people who make the board games. Okay, so how do I know what Market Square is? Because it's west of Market Square. My guess is this is Market Square. How would I know that? Oh, I found him. I already found him. Okay, so he's right here. Solved. Okay, the corpse. The body lies in a courtyard between the Market Square and the bank. It's a famous local DJ, Lars Vegas. Someone shot him. Next to him lies the bag of chips. Okay, so that was an easy one. Oh, it's the number of fries you have. Basically tells you how hard it is. So where was the victim earlier? Okay, so we go, whoops, come back. What? Where was he earlier? How the fuck am I supposed to know that? What? Where was he earlier? You picked up Pizza Mutimo and you're buying. You're driving. I love it. Why would people want physical board games when they have digital ones? Brian, because a lot of people don't like video games, but they like the social aspect of sitting around the table with their family or friends and playing. There's a tactile. Some of the games these days, I'll bring some out I have next time. They are absolutely fucking beautiful. The pieces, the components of the game, and they're just very different. They're very social experiences. They're very different than digital board games. Where was, I don't understand that. Trey Trimble, thank you so much. Goodness, you've given so much to this chat. You don't need to be giving us money. I appreciate it, though. $5 super chat. He says, Jaffe, you've been in the machine. I beat Far Cry 5 last night and watched 52 minutes of credits. How the heck do they pay everyone enough? It's not Call of Duty. I don't know. Well, let's be clear, though. A lot of times credits in video games, you know, I don't imagine Sony would get mad at me if I told you this. A lot of times it's Sony. There's like a mandate that you have to include after you include the development crew and the production crew at Sony. You have to include everybody at Sony. So, I mean, if you're somebody who does IT in Spain for the small office in Spain of like 20 people that had nothing to do with the latest God of War, except maybe the game's released in Spain, and maybe that guy fixed the computers in the office of the one person in Spain that had like 20 emails to answer over the course of a 3-year production, they're all listed in the credits. And I don't know if that's an ego thing, like look how big our productions are, it wouldn't surprise me, or if that is just they think it's good business. I couldn't tell you. But what bothers me about it is a lot of times they will have good Easter eggs a la Marvel at the end of credits, and I'm always nervous to hit X and skip the credits, which I would love to do, because I'm like, well, if I skip the credits, maybe I won't get the secret bonus ending. And so it's kind of you're kind of, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But so now I'm already confused. What am I supposed to do? It says somebody shot him. Next to him lies a bag of chips. Where was he earlier? Let's assume where he was earlier was somewhere where he could buy a bag of chips. Maybe that's how it works, okay? Maybe that's how this game works, okay? So where was he? Market Square. Where did we see him earlier? Here he is, right here. Okay, so this motherfucker went and he bought himself a bag of chips, which I guess this is English, that's fries. My God, this guy's selling hot dogs. What do you think? Was he here? Nope. Where was he? I don't know how to do this. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is there a guy selling a bag of chips somewhere? Let's see. Or fries, not chips. These are French fries. Somebody's selling French fries. Now, now again, you got to imagine playing this with your family, your friends, sitting around a table. Oh, look. Okay, this guy's got a bag of fries. He's walking that way. Was this him? He's walking that way. Okay, hang on. Hang on. There he is. This is the same guy, right? That's the same. Yeah, he's got his glasses. So maybe they're showing different moments in time. Okay. So he was somewhere. I might buy this game because it's not digital. It's real. He's on the left. What do you mean he's on the left? Okay, Rob, I'll wait for you to guide me. This is him right here, right? But where was he when he bought the fries? Because the question is, where was he? Well, it says, where was the victim earlier? Do I double click? He's right there. Fish and chip truck. Where? Where do you see that? Where do you see a fish and... Oh, right here. Here he is. Look at this goddamn game. Boom! You guys did it. Okay, is there a suspect? This game's pretty good. This is not a bad game. I like this. Okay, is there a suspect? Let's find out. What about... Oh, look at her reaching in her purse. That's her. Nope, I'm wrong. Next to the cheese. Okay, we got the cheese. We got the fries. Now, is there a suspect? Okay. It's not that it's where you're right, Jason WB. It's Where's Waldo. It's Where's Waldo, but it's not just finding Waldo, and it's not just finding items. It's deduction meets Where's Waldo, which I think is pretty fucking cool. Okay, so wait. Where is... I mean, I could just start clicking on people. I imagine in the actual game, there is a risk. Okay, the victim was followed throughout his journey. Was he? Let's see. Hang on a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Was he really? Okay, so if that's him there, and then we go back... Oh, look at that. This is really cool. I would love to design a game. Look at this. So here he is here. And if you go forward in time, here he is here. I'm buying this game. Me and my kids will love playing this. And then he's dead. Okay. That's really cool. Okay. So then it says, where did he live? This is what you got to do sometimes making a board game. You feel this would be best for preschoolers? Fuck you, Bacon Magma, you moron. This is, okay, where did the victim live? That's what I want to know. Jesus Christ. Okay, the victim, now how do we do, okay, Bacon Magma, you're such a fucking genius. Where did he live, motherfucker? Where did he live, motherfucker, Bacon Magma? Where does this motherfucker with the DJ live? How do we even know that? What do you use to deduce that? Shut up, Stealth. Stealth says this is better than anything on Game Pass. Fuck you, motherfucker. Game Pass just dropped 3 more games for this week. Okay, the developer made the game backwards. Absolutely. It's for preschoolers learning like murder. This is where you have to backtrack. Make a game about, okay, so make a game about waking up next to a dead hooker and trying to find out what happened after you got drunk. I don't really like to make games about my life, sir. That's a little too personal. Okay, so wait a minute. So, okay, here he is. Okay, here he is here. He doesn't live here. There's the guy following him. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. Well, but he doesn't work at the disco. I mean, he doesn't live at the disco, right? But here he is, and then here he is being followed right here. Okay, let me zoom out one. Anthony, Game Pass does not suck. I mean, you want to enter into a discussion with me about Game Pass sucking, we can do that, but you better be prepared to actually have a discussion about why it sucks. Otherwise, you just sound like a fucking troll. Okay, come on now. Disco Elysium is this game? I haven't played that game. If that's this, I'll buy it. I thought that game was just a lot of reading and shit. Okay, come on. Where's this fucker live? Where's this fucker live? On the balcony. What are you talking about? What balcony? Jason says on the balcony. Oh, good eye, sir. Oh, and he's got money in the bag. He lived in a courtyard apartment next to a clothes store. Before he left, he packed a large amount of money. He wanted to go to the bank. What's the motive for the murder? Good job, dude. Good job, Kaiden saw it as well. Okay, so what is the motive for the murder? I don't know. Wait, go back. The motive for the murder. Well, I mean, I guess the dude... Oh. I don't know. The motive is money, right? That guy's looking at him. That doesn't help. Having the great mind that he has can't figure out a child's game. Fuck you, Nadim, you motherfucker. Okay, we got to find the dude in the hat. That's my guess. So if he's... What's he look like again? Hang on. The dude in the hat is right here. Is this the same guy? If he's on the... Is that the same guy there? No. Okay. Okay. Is that... That's not him. Oh, here he is. Look. No, he's just following the guy. What did he have with him right before he died? Well, he's got the bag of money here. And then he's being followed here. He's got glasses in his backpack. Oh, right, because he could take it away. He got the fries. The guy was watching him. He's got the fries in the backpack. And then he goes over here and he was murdered. He lost his backpack, right? So I'm assuming the motive was to get the backpack. Strong jawline. We do gabbing and then we do gaming. We're doing gabbing right now, sir. Bacon says, Jaffe, let me get this straight. You'll play this, but I feel you kind of snobbed at the games Ubisoft showed yesterday. Yes, I will play this over what used to be called Gods and Monsters. I mean, unless Gods and Monsters turns out great. But yes, based on what they showed, absolutely I would. Because this is engaging to my brain in a way that, I mean, it's almost like you just don't get it. Maybe you're just really young, and that's fine, and you haven't played enough games in your life. But when you play enough games, your brain very quickly starts to skip over faster and faster the production value. And even though you don't consciously go, oh, I'm recognizing mechanics, your brain knows that, right? And so you can only eat steak, if you like steak, every day before you get sick of it, right? So it's not that I look at those Ubisoft games and go, they're crap. I'm just saying I've experienced those kinds of games ad nauseum at this point. Have I ever experienced a game that's across, like somebody in the chat is saying, between Where's Waldo and Clue? No, I haven't. So right now my brain is firing. I'm like, oh, this is a new novel experience. And the more you play and the more experience you get as a creator and a consumer of video games or games in general, the more you look for novel experiences. This is probably why movie critics and general audiences don't connect as often as a lot of people say they should. The first time I ever noticed that was Top Gun. Critics hated Top Gun. But as an audience, we were like, this is fucking great. But it's probably not fucking great if you watch 6 movies a week and you've watched movies from all over the world. You learn to enjoy far more than Call of Duty shooters and cinematic over-the-shoulder games if you play a lot more. That's true. Okay, so the motive, says Jason WB, is always money, love, or hatred. Why those murder cases are solved. It's random where the killer doesn't know the suspect that don't get solved. That's true. That's absolutely true. Okay, so money's the motive. We know, oh, is that the motive? Money's the motive because he stole the backpack. Or the backpack was the motive. So the question is, how do we find that? How do we find that? But don't worry, we'll get to Ace Combat soon. I don't lie to you motherfuckers. We'll get there. What is the motive for the murder? And hey, chat, you let me know if you're not enjoying this. We'll move on. I'm gonna play this on my own later tonight. What is the motive for the murder? He's got his backpack. I mean, what am I supposed to click on at that point? And I'll know, by the way, in the chat who tells me to stop playing. I'll know if they're serious or if they are full of shit. Because if it's like, Delta Gamer, no, I'm going to keep playing. But if it's somebody who genuinely has the interest of the chat in mind, I'll finish it. Okay, so Kaiden says finish it. Mupo says finish it. Wrath says finish it. Okay, so we're going to at least get to this one. So what is the motive? On the left. Okay, on the left. Shrinko says on the left. I did click the money. Nothing happened. What do you mean on the left? Click the bank. I did click the bank. It didn't happen. Hidden Folks I don't really like, though. Hidden Folks is basically Where's Waldo. What I like about this is it's Where's Waldo, but it's deductive reasoning. It's not just find the items. Yeah, I clicked on the pig or the owl. That was nothing. You talking about this one? This guy here? Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Like I said, I imagine in the real game you can guess so many times, then it just says, yeah, no. Shady bird guy above. Yeah, no, doesn't do anything. I know there's a bit of a delay. Click on the guy overlooking. Yep, I've done it. I've done this guy and I've done that guy. What is the motive for the murder? You know what? We got to find the guy in the hat is what it is. That's what it is. So we have to find this guy. Maybe this guy can't pay his bills or something. So we got to find the dude in the hat. That's what it is. So does anybody see the dude in the hat? Okay. Oh, is that him? No. Is that him? Is that him? Hang on. That's not him because he doesn't have buttons on his... I did press the cash. I did it. I'll go back to the crime scene. Hang on a second. I think we're looking for the guy in the hat is what we're looking for. Because that's the motive. The guy needs the money for something, right? That's what it would be. That's not him, though, because he doesn't have buttons. Oh. That's eventually they're going to want to know where the murder weapon is. So we got that. The culprit apparently wanted the contents of the backpack. Lars Vegas had a bag as he walked towards the bank, but it's no longer can be found. Further south, a mysterious stalker was spotted making off with it. Where is he sitting on the loot? Okay. Who's my favorite, Delroy or Delta Gamer? Delroy. Delroy's awesome. Delroy's a friend of the show, sir. So where is he now sitting on the loot? That's what we're trying to figure it out. Yeah, the chat's kind of delayed today. I'm not quite sure why. There's like a 6-second delay from when you guys type. It's usually not like that. Is there a hat store? Why does he need a hat store? He's got a hat, doesn't he? He needs the money to buy a mug. The new Gabbing game mugs are up over on Teespring. They're DW Octorock made them, buddies. I'm telling you something. They might go quick. Oh, there he is there too, though. They may go quick because, oh, look at that. He's everywhere. So he killed the guy. Yeah, look at that. That's really neat. This is so neat. He kills the guy in the alley. Then look at him walking. Oh, look at that. That's something going on. Look at all the details. Look at the little guy in the mask. Oh, having an affair. Okay. So he's walking here. Is that him? He keeps walking. Now, unless he went into the building. No, he keeps walking. This is really cool. The guy gets around, I know. Who's your favorite, me or Jesus? Well, I believe in you, so. Okay, he's walking here. There he's here. This is so neat. Is that where we lost him? Let's see. Bruno, this is a game. I forget what it's called. It's called Micro Macro. But it's a board game. And it's a board game that they've put online to show you what it plays like. But you actually buy a giant physical map, which is like 5 times or 6 times the size of this. Move to the right of the stop sign. Go north of the dumpster. Okay, hang on a second. I mean, we see him right there with the backpack, so we know. So north of the dumpster is... Oh, okay, there's the dumpster. Okay, he threw his... Okay, so he's walking here. He throws the thing away. So where would he be? I mean, he could be... Okay, he walked here. He threw it away. He's walking away with the backpack. He doesn't have the gun. What didn't he have before he bought something? He had his hat. He had his hat the whole time. He was sitting down with his hat and backpack on the table. Where? Wait a minute. Where? Pig. This guy? Yeah, it comes with a magnifying glass, Nadim. Okay, wait. I'm not going to move the mouse. I'm going to stop for a minute. You're saying, oh, he's on the table. This guy? The bird guy? What? The perpetrator's been found. He's sitting in this beer garden. Oh, he was the bird guy. You guys were right, but he had a hat on. Okay. Yep. Smarty Pants McGee's, fellas. Okay. Where's the murder weapon? Well, it's in the goddamn trash can. We know that already. Right there. Okay. Now, last thing. Who is the murderer and how did they know about the money? Yep. This game's good. I'm buying this. That's what a good goddamn game demo should do. Now, here's my question to you guys in the chat. Here's my question. You've watched me play this. When you play board games, boom, the neighbor. Okay, look at that. That was called Hot Chips. That's a 2 out of 5 star case. These get harder if you own the game. It took us that long only because you were able to catch the murderer. We are very impressed. Would like you to join our team. Are you in? Not yet, because I'm going to go buy it on Amazon. But okay, so here's the question. I really like this. I'm buying this for my kids and for me and to play at game night because once a week the X comes over and we play games, okay? Is this a game that you guys would buy? Or you're like, dude, fuck this game. Okay, I'm just curious. So C Run says yes. Mupo says yes. Shrinko says it's so satisfying. Who else we got? I want to know what you guys think. I like this. This is pretty fucking cool. They get harder and easier. They're all over the place. Yeah. And the map is much bigger than what they just showed us. Antonio or Anthony says he likes it. Okay. All right, well then there you go. That's what we played. We're going to play Ace Combat in a few minutes. I just want to show you a couple of other things. Let me go to the chat though. Let's see what the chat's talking about. Oh, Shrinko says if it's digital, you would buy it. You know what? I would like a digital version as well. Absolutely. But I want to play it with the kids and stuff. Draft says he would play it with friends. Rob would buy. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really fucking awesome. Hogwash says kill me. Nikki says this is so special. Okay, so. And what's cool is you can also play it by yourself. So if the kids get bored, still play it. Okay. I'd buy it and a $700 PS2. Okay. All right, here we go. What's the chat saying, or do we want to go? Let me see if there's any. I have a lot more stuff to talk about. So let's talk. Let's talk. If it's $60, then okay. Let's see how much it is. If it's $60, that's crazy. Hang on. Let's see how much they're charging for this fucking thing. I'm not going to show you yet. Oh, okay, that's the price. It's out. It's sold out. But that's the price. Let me see if I can get off Amazon. I'll tell you the price in a minute. I want to see if it's on Amazon for a different price or if it's even on Amazon. You can't buy it on Amazon. You have to buy it from the creators or from the publisher. Can you guess how much this is? Somebody guess. It's expected back in stock December 15th. I will buy it. It will be a good Christmas Day thing to do. Anybody want to guess? $100. Nope. Two more guesses and I'm just going to tell you unless you get it right. $2,000. Rob, hang on a second. Hang on. Stop guessing. Rob the Mod, are you still there? Do you have the codes from Dane Barnes? If you do, maybe the person who guesses I'm not even looking at the prices right now. You're going to have to start over guessing, so don't even think about it. Although I guess this way you could go up and look it up. Don't look it up. Don't cheat. Yeah, you guys have already cheated. It's $29.99. It's $29.99. It's exactly how much it is. That's not a bad price for this goddamn thing. Pretty fucking good. Dane Barnes, how you doing, sir? Thanks for the super chat. He says, popping in for a sec at work. Hope you're well. I'm well, sir. We're actually about to give away some of the codes you gave us. Again, everybody thank Dane for the free video games that you or some of you and your folks are about to receive that we're going to be giving away in just a moment. Okay, so Rob, you are here. How do the codes work today if we want to give codes away? Are there specific games, Rob, and you know what they are, and you can say, all right, the first one up is this game, or do we not know what they are yet? No, I'm sure you typed it, Draft. There's a weird delay on the chat today. I'm not quite sure what it is, though, what's causing it. But I'm going to wait for Rob to respond because I want to know how we can give these things away. In the meantime, I'm just going to show you some quick stuff. Okay? Okay? While we're waiting for Rob, I know the delay is really bad. Let me make a quick change to Steam real fast. Not Steam. What's this thing called? Let me make a quick change to what is this thing? YouTube. Hang on. If I can. Stream settings. So I can't change it while I'm streaming. I was going to fix the... I was going to lower the delay. I'm sorry, fellas, I can't. You have codes, but they're random. All right, well, we'll give some random codes away in a couple minutes. Let me show you something. Do you guys know Studio Ghibli? You guys know Studio Ghibli? This is from their movie... is it called Nazca or something? I've seen like Totoro, loved it. Kiki's, I loved it. Castle in the Sky, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away. I've even seen like Castle of Cagliostro. This is one of the few that I haven't seen. Do you know what's amazing about this though? This is not cell animation. This is 3D. The Wind Rises. This is 3 fucking D. You know how I know it's 3 fucking D? Look at that. Somebody went and made a pretty much one-to-one accurate image from that movie, and you can zoom around it and look at it from different angles. Oh, geez, there's I don't know what I'm looking at there. It's pretty fucking cool. And then you're like, yeah, Jeffy, that's cool, but I don't like that scene from that movie. Okay, no problem. How about this scene from that movie? You like this scene from that movie? Because this is the same goddamn thing. There it is. But it's not. It's not Cell. It's 3D. Look at that. Look at that shit. Doom, doom, doom. Things are getting cool out there, fellas. Look at that. You could say, I want to see what this looks like as a fucking game. It's like, let's go over the shoulder. Here we go. If you were to make a game with this character, let's pivot up a little bit. That's what it would be like. Look at that. Isn't that shit cool? Isn't that shit cool? That's awesome. I love that stuff. I did not know that this was not 2D when I first saw it today. I was like, oh yeah, it's a shot from that movie from a while ago. It's like, no, motherfucker, that ain't a shot. That's real. That's real time. Anyway, okay, that's that. Enjoy that. Think about that when you go to sleep tonight. What else do we got? I'm gonna knock out some geeky cool things. We don't have to talk a lot about these. I'm just gonna fucking show you. Okay. You know this kid Finn Wolfhard? He was in Stranger Things. He was in It. He's in a band. Unfortunately, I can't show you his new music video that just dropped today. The song's fine. I don't give a fuck about that kind of music. It's fine. It's like a pop punk song, whatever. But you know what's cool about it? If you like horror movies like I do, him and his bandmates have gone in to, I don't know how they got the legal rights to do this. They probably didn't. And they went in and they've plastered their faces on classic horror movies and modern horror movies. And it's really cool and it's really funny. And I highly recommend it if you're into horror or if you happen to like Finn Wolfhard. I don't fucking know. But it's cool. I know it looks dumb here, but I would look into it. It's called Smoke Bomb. The music video features the Stranger Things star and his bandmate Malcolm Craig appearing in classic horror films, Jaws, Jurassic Park. In fact, let me just scrub through it. I'll show you a couple things without getting a YouTube violation. Let's see if I can show you something. Get out of here, you fuck. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. Oh, there he is as Chucky. Here he is as the Exorcist. Let's see. I mean, it's low budget, but it's really cool. It's really cool. Let's see which one is this. There he is as the Predator. There he is as Freddy. I know it looks like my terrible YouTube thumbnails, but it's cool. The kid is typecast so bad, even as a music artist, he has to be a horror star. It's his band. He made the videos. I don't fucking know. Anyway, check it out if you're into it. It's called Smoke Bomb. It's pretty cool. Jesus Christ, this game. This game, if you have Twitch, the reason Onion Man, we're going to play. It's called Gabbing and Gaming. We're going to play. He says, I was really looking forward to Ace Combat 7. Yeah. Have you ever watched the stream? I know you have. You've been on here a lot, sir. We love that you're here, but we talk first, and then we play. So if you ever want to go, I'm just here for the game, not a problem. Show up about anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half after the start time, and we should be booting up the son of a bitch right then. I only bring this up because as a guy who has made a multiplayer game that tanked very quickly, within a couple of weeks, we knew within the first weekend we were dead. Rocket Arena is a game that people have said is pretty fun. It's from EA, and it launched as a $20 video game, which I always thought was fascinating because it seems like these days you don't launch multiplayer-only games unless they're free to play. I think, I know again, Fall Guys would show you that that's not the case, but it'll be interesting to see if Fall Guys continues to rule the roost after this month because it's done being free on Game Pass or on PS Now or PS Plus, whatever it was. So this game dropped at $19. Then they dropped it to $4. It clearly didn't make a difference because they have currently 71 people on Steam playing this game. It looks fun. It looks good, right? There's nothing wrong with this game. And then today EA announces, you know what? If you have Amazon Prime, we're just giving it away for free. So if you're looking for something to play this week that's new, I don't know if it's on console. I know it's on PC. You can get this game for free. It looks pretty good. Heath says, I'm looking forward to AC more than you, but even I'm waiting. Jesus Christ, what a dick. I'll be here, sir. Come back. I'll tell you what, anybody in the chat that's only here for AC, I appreciate it. I respect it. Here's the deal. It is currently in San Diego, 4:44. We are going to talk probably no later than 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, we're going to take a 6-minute break. So if you come back San Diego time at 5:10, let's say 5:05, 5:10, you will absolutely have yourself the time of your life as we boot up Ace Combat 7. In the meantime, you got time to get yourself some food. You can go masturbate, whatever it is you do when you don't hang out here on the Jaffe stream. So anyway, there you go. I understand the graphics look like Fortnite, but who gives a shit? It's not about the graphics. It's all about rocket boosting, like in the old days. Nobody cares about that. By the way, if you have Game Pass for PC like I do, keep in mind, next week they go up from $5 a month to $10. But if you up your subscription today or before the weekend ends, you can get the $5 deal if you pay for a year. That's what I'm going to do. So there you go. Something to know. I'm just sharing the information with you guys. I'm sharing the data. Annapurna comes out with a beautiful box set. These guys make some of the most arty-farty but wonderful games. If you buy this, you get yourself one of the best games ever made, What Remains of Edith Finch. You get Outer Wilds, which is a lot of people's game of the year. Telling Lies, which was a game of the year from a couple of years back. A lot of these games are really fucking good, and they've released 2 beautiful box sets, I guess, right in time for the holidays. You have this one that comes with this neat folio bullshit and some writing from the people, but the one that looks really cool, which is actually less expensive, is this one. Look at this fucking thing. Comes with PS4 cases, and it comes with brand new covers. Now, this is only if you love these games. I'm not saying go fucking buy this, but if you got somebody in your fucking life that loves arty-farty games and loves unique titles that are some of the most unique artistic games in the business, something you should look at. Look at these beautiful covers. Look at that. Edith Finch. Great fucking game. All right, here we go. We talked about that. I don't know what that is. You saw this? You saw this shit? They delayed this PlayStation 2, PlayStation 5 launch game. So they've delayed Harvey Smith's game, Deathloop, is now coming out Q3 2021. This is now coming out Q1 2021. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I still think PlayStation have a pretty good fucking lineup for launch day. D Bombay says you played through Edith Finch Sunday. It was fantastic, wasn't it? One of my top 5 games of all time, maybe top 10. Brilliant fucking game. But anyway, this is delayed. It is what it is. What are you gonna do? Okay. Here's what we're doing. Oh, and the final thing I want to show you is if the stream ever takes off and we make a lot of money here on the stream, when I open up my Patreon, I am absolutely buying this chair. I'm going to game in this chair. I'm going to stream in this chair. I may even attack giant kaiju in this chair that come to San Diego and threaten to destroy our peaceful city, because this is the coolest goddamn thing I've seen in a long time. Okay. I agree. Robert says there's no surprise games are getting delayed. It's COVID. That's part of it. That's for goddamn sure. That's a big part of it. Look at that chair, though. Look at that goddamn thing. Isn't that something? If it could walk, I was trying to find out how much this fucking thing is. This company makes these chairs. Most of them don't look like scorpions, but they all have this basic shape where the thing rotates over it. And it's pretty fucking cool. I would buy this chair in a heartbeat. Okay. Now what we're doing, is we're going to talk to the chat for about 5, 6, 7 minutes, whatever you guys want to talk about. Then we're going to take a break. And then we are going to play some Ace Combat 7. So let's go to the chat. Let's see what's on y'all's mind. What are you up to? Talk about whatever you want for the next 5, 6, 7 minutes. Okay? Okay. Is Sony planning on porting Drawn to Death? No. Not at all. Or PlayStation Battle Royale, I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I think it'd be a blast to watch you play Fall Guys. I will play it again. I played it the day or the couple of days after it was released, and it was a lot of fun. It's one of those games, I haven't felt, out of all the games I've streamed recently, I want to go back to Resident Evil 4 and finish it. I want to go back to Max Payne and finish it. I want to go back to Ultra Kill and finish it. Short of those, though, I haven't really been all that interested in Fall Guys again. Fall Guys was really fun, but Fall Guys reminded me of a wonderful piece of bubblegum, and it lost its flavor quickly. They are coming out with Season 2 pretty soon, and if Season 2 is awesome, it'll absolutely pull me back in. But for the moment, not so much. Xbox's latest tweet, says Cooper, shows Phil Spencer in an interview from a while ago with the Series S sitting in the background. Wasn't Microsoft, the rumor was Microsoft was going to announce one more big piece of news this week, and I haven't seen it. So it'll be interesting. I am going to play Ghost of Tsushima, but I'm not going to play it till I get my capture card, which doesn't come until the 15th. I have not finished Avengers. I will probably go back and play it, though. Do I still play Oculus Quest? I really don't. I have 2 of them. They're gathering dust over there in the corner. I like the Oculus Quest. I actually, no, let me rephrase that. I adore the tech. I adore the user experience of Oculus Quest. It's second to none when it comes to ease of use, simplicity, and wonderful VR. The problem with it is it just doesn't have enough compelling software. It just doesn't. No VR does. My Oculus Rift is sitting under my desk. It's gathering dust. There's just not enough to play on it. And after a while, after you get over the wow factor of it, which is an amazing wow factor, the games just play like normal games, and you kind of get used to it. And it's a big pain in the ass, and it's hot, and it's not there yet. I have not played super hot yet in VR. I hear it's great. I remember using the bubblegum analogy years ago. It's for a lot of things, Gingham. It's basically for games. I use the grilled cheese analogy, which is a comfort food game. And I use the bubblegum analogy, which is a game that is great and has an immediate burst of flavor and fun. My guess would be that Hot Shot Racing at the moment is a bubblegum game, unless they release a lot more content for it. Like, I don't think Horizon Chase Turbo, which is a very similar arcade 90s racing game, I don't think that game is bubblegum, because not only do they have tons more content, but they also have a great meta on top of it in terms of unlocking and 3-starring and all that. Hot Shot Racing is one of the most fun I've had playing a racing game in probably 10 years. But no, that's not true. Mario Kart 8, but other than Mario Kart 8. But ultimately, I got through all of the Grand Prix on normal first place last night. I might try difficult mode, and then I'm probably done with it until they start releasing more stuff. But that's sort of what the bubblegum analogy is. Vader Immortal is horrible. I agree, Orang. I don't think it's horrible, but I think it's very basic, and it gets kind of boring pretty quickly. Here's the deal, Potato Quality. If you want to discuss COVID and all that, come to the Sunday stream. Don't discuss it here. The chat don't want to see it right now. We're talking video games. We're talking geek culture. I will be more than happy to discuss COVID and the response to it, and Trump and Biden and all of that. You know I love talking about that stuff. I will be doing the political stream on Sunday. But right now, this isn't the place for it. Please stop or we'll ban you. But hopefully, even if we'll ban you, we'll see you on Sunday. Proto V says, I was kind of hoping Fall Guys would take the spot of Fortnite. I'm really tired of that being the thing. I understand. I mean, I respect Fortnite, but I don't really play it anymore. Anthony says Mario Kart 8 is fire. It absolutely is. Creston says RE7 is my favorite VR experience. Absolutely. I played the whole thing. He says he can only stomach it for 45 minutes. I played the whole goddamn thing in VR, and I loved it. The Vader Immortal sounds cool. It is cool. When I got the Oculus Quest, that game opens with you on this shuttle with this robot, and you can walk around the shuttle, and it feels like you're living in a Star Wars movie. And it's really cool to kind of go to the edge of the shuttle and look over and see it flying, and it feels super immersive. But after about 5 or 10 minutes of playing it, you're like, okay, the immersion wears off. Now what's there fun to do? And there's not a lot of fun shit to do. It's just kind of boring. Gingham says, people have told me God of War falls under the bubblegum analogy. I think that's wrong. I think, they're entitled to their opinion, of course. But here's why I think it doesn't fit. It's the bubblegum analogy only in the sense that if you just look at the combat and you compare the combat to like Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, what have you, they're absolutely right. The combat, at least in the one I worked on and a little bit of the second, is bubblegum, 100%. But the reason God of War took so long to make back in the day is that we knew, unlike Devil May Cry, that it couldn't stand only on one column, which is deep combat. It's not Bayonetta. So we had to have platforming, we had to have puzzles, we had to have exploration. That particular game was designed with all 4 of those columns in mind. None of those columns. Our puzzles aren't as good as Zelda. Our combat's not as good as Devil May Cry. Our exploration's probably not as good as Zelda. Our platforming certainly not as good as Mario. But it's all good enough that when they come together to form the stool that those legs form, what you're left with, the goal was you're left with a game that feels like you're on a journey and adventure. And I think God of War, at least at the time, gave players the sense of going on a grand adventure better than any other game that had been made up until that point. And that was the goal of it. But yeah, if you're talking about just combat, it's absolutely bubblegum, 100%. Batman was a good game in VR. Blood and Truth was, I didn't play it, but I heard it was a really good game as well. Have I played Sega Saturn? Of course. My favorite game on Sega Saturn, I mean, there weren't a lot. I mean, I played Bug on Sega Saturn. I'm going to tell you a story real quick. The story is we were in a toy store. Potato Quality, save that. You know I want to respond to it, but I'm busy right now, but I'll respond to it in a minute. We were in a toy store at Century City, California, me and my design partner, Mike Young. And we were working on Twisted Metal, and we saw this kid that was around 11 or 12 years old. And we were like, we don't know if this game's working or not. Let's just go up to this kid, see if he'll come back with us to the studio. This is a long time ago. This is like 1994, okay? Times were different. We go up to this kid, and we're like, hey, we make video games. The kid's eyes get as big as a goddamn fucking plate. And he's like, oh, you make video games? We're like, yeah, we're making video games for this new thing called PlayStation. I don't know what that is. What's PlayStation? We're like, well, we're only down the street. Come on back to the goddamn office and we'll show it to you. We want to get your opinion. Well, right around that time, his mom walks up, thank God. And she's like, what's going on here, fellas? And we're like, oh, here's our business cards. We work for Sony, blah, blah, blah. So relatively quickly, we convinced her that we were on the up and up, which of course we were. So she's like, you know what? I can't do it today, but I'll bring him. We'll come by the office tomorrow if you really want his opinion. We said, yes, we'd love his opinion. The kid comes by the office the next day. We let him play Battle Arena Toshinden. We let him play Cyber Sled, a bunch of stuff on PlayStation and Sega Saturn because we wanted to get a sense of, we wanted him to have a sense of what next-gen gameplay was. And then we put in Twisted Metal. The kid loved Twisted Metal. He gave us great feedback. That kid came back into our office in Sony Santa Monica probably 10 times before we shipped Twisted Metal to give us feedback on things he liked and didn't like about the game. The point is, though, when he played PlayStation, played Ridge Racer, after spending a little bit of time playing Sega Saturn, he looked at us and said, that's the competition for this PlayStation? We said, yeah, that's the new Sega Saturn. He's like, that's crap. I'm like, I know. But it was crap. It was crap. Bug was not great. Probably the best thing I played was Daytona and Panzer Dragoon. Panzer Dragoon's coming to PS4 and PC in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it. But that's the story about the kid we took from a toy store back to our office, and it sounds worse than it was. Okay. But it was fun. It was fun time. It was fun bringing people into the office and seeing what they enjoyed. Okay, so listen, let me respond briefly to Potato Quality. He says, Jaffe, in other words, he's a troll. He says, you're one of the scared and dumb people I spoke of. You have taken offense. I didn't take offense, Potato Quality. Let me help you out very briefly, sir. Let me help you out very briefly. Most people, and not all, but most people who think COVID is a hoax and all that shit tend to be Republicans. Not a problem with Republicans. I got no problem with Republicans at all. Most Republicans tend to be in favor of pure unregulated capitalism, or at least a stronger form of capitalism than the liberals do. Don't got a problem with that. I don't like unregulated capitalism, but it is what it is. Okay. So I'm not offended, you stupid motherfucker. I am doing business right now. I look at my stream, I take it serious, whether there's 5 people here or 200 people here or 20,000 people watching videos afterwards. I take it serious. When I do something, it has my focus, it has my attention. I have learned from my chat on these game streams, they don't want to get into politics. They don't want to get into controversial subjects. They want to come here and talk about the hobby they love, and that's what I provide Monday through Fridays at 3 o'clock most days. On the weekends, I'll tear you 20 new assholes when it comes to politics, sir. I will explain to you how you're a fucking moron, and how you're wrong, and how you were probably educated with a banana and an inner tube, and your parents probably didn't give a shit about you, because no one whose parents gave a shit about them are as stupid as you are, because those parents would have educated that child. But today, we're talking about video games. I hope you know that, sir. There you go. That's my answer. Have I played Galactic Attack on the Saturn? No, never did. Never did. Here's what we're going to do, fellas and fillettes. We are going to take a small break. I'm going to go punch a bag. I'm kidding. I'm fine. This chat is so delayed. We're going to take a small break, a literally 6-minute break. There will be a timer on the screen. Afterwards, we will come back and we will play Ace Combat 7. You guys think about it a little bit. Let me know when we come back if you are interested in watching the cutscenes and all that shit. Because there's a lot of cutscenes and it's a whole story. I'm more than happy to skip all that shit. But if you guys are here for Ace Combat, you're like, no, we like all the fictional bullshit. Fantastic. Totally fantastic. So we'll give that Professor Banana Tube. That's right. You guys let me know when I come back. But for now, we're going to take a small break. Let's bring up the break screen. Let's bring up the audio first, shall we, fellas? Okay, so we got the audio for today. This is, you can either turn it down, whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever the fuck you want to do. Here we go. I feel terrible about saying it, but nowhere in that sentence do I say the only way you're going to get sex is underhanded trickery. That is your reporter bringing her own fucking agenda to the table, and you fucking know it.
This is her analysis, and she's going a little further than what you said.
And you know what? That's okay if you're writing about sort of benign shit, but when you're basically accusing someone of something really fucking awful.
The last is that a girl or woman couldn't actually win a co-op match on her own. Again, not literally what you said. This is how she's interpreting what you said.
And
she's not the only person to have come up with these things, David. And she's putting this in context. Crude vulgarity that puts men in positions of manipulating women for sexual gain is misogyny.
Dude, okay. First of all, it's not misogyny. Misogyny is distrust or hatred of women. That is misogyny. That's what I'm saying. You don't get to just fucking make up your definition and say, where? Show me that.
So manipulating women for sexual gain, you don't think might possibly be related to hatred of women? You don't think that
or what the fuck are you people? Are you a fucking therapist? Yes, any action that you do, you could travel it down a certain psychosis or psychological path to get to some conclusion. Absolutely. But to say that as a statement of fact and to bold it and to say this is misogyny, are you out of your fucking mind, dude? That's Bush League and you fucking know it. And it's her second fucking week or her second day and you don't want to fucking call her out because you feel like it's a fucking bad hire. That's the truth.
She's not a bad hire. She's an excellent hire.
Well,
and not every story is going to make people happy. And some stories...
Dude, you know what? Give me a break. If you said Twisted Metal is shit, it's not relevant, it doesn't play well, that won't make me happy, but it's your opinion. You have a right. To not only call someone something awful like a misogynist or to imply that they're a misogynist very clearly, but to get the definition of misogyny wrong, and then on top of it to basically get your facts wrong, where in there did I say the only way to get sex from a woman is to be underhanded and manipulate her? Where did I say that? Never.
She's talking about the tone of the interview and what you're saying in the act of promoting a game. Where do you want this to go, David?
I don't want to go anywhere. I want to go. I'm respecting you because you keep reading shit. Well, I'm happy to be done. Trust me, I'll be done with you. I'll be done with your site. I mean, it's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit. It's Bush League. It's bullshit, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You're a fucking real journalist. I've always respected journalists. That's bullshit. You know, fuck Gawker, man. Fuck you guys. We're done. We're done. Don't fucking write about what the fuck you want, but we're done.
Okay, David.
Attorney Jack Thompson and also Paul Levinson, the professor and chair of communications at media studies at Fordham University. And sir, thank you both for being with us. We appreciate seeing you today. Jack, I want to start with you today because you are a bit of a controversial figure. You helped write the Louisiana legislation that would ban these sales. Why do you think it's necessary to have a ban?
It's not a ban.
A ban to minors, I should say.
Yeah, well, because 40-some states have laws that prohibit the distribution of sexual material harmful to minors. We have a movie rating system in that regard, and the industry itself labels these games as adult or mature. And therefore, we're simply saying to the industry, if you're going to label these things and admit that they're harmful to minors, stop selling them to them. The Federal Trade Commission found last month that roughly 42% of the time, any kid of any age can walk into any retailer and buy any game like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, despite the game rating. So we're simply saying stop selling these adult games to kids, and apparently the industry is afraid of what's coming their way because this law was passed unanimously in Louisiana, by the way, by every legislator. Just 2 days ago, the industry had a press conference in the rotunda of the Capitol, and they said, well, we're going to stop selling these games to kids. It's about time. It's 10 years too late.
Paul, he brings up some good points. A lot of people wouldn't want these games in the hands of kids. What do you think about these laws?
I don't want them in the hands of kids either, but the laws are totally unconstitutional.
Why?
Because we have a First Amendment that says Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech. Last time I checked, entertainment was a form of speech.
Although keeping them out of the hands of minors, we do that with movies, too. You
Sure.
can't get into a rated R movie if you're under 17.
That's wrong also. The fact of the matter is there's not a scintilla of scientific evidence that any movie or video game, however violent, has ever caused any damage in the real world.
Okay,
And
let
there
me...
are no shortage of perverts and criminals out there who do real damage, who kidnap, kill people. That's who the legislatures should go after. That's who the lawyers should draft stronger legislation to punish.
Jack?
The professor apparently doesn't know that the American Psychological Association, the largest collection of psychologists in the world, issued a report in August of 2005 saying that there's a direct causal link between the play of violent video games by adolescents and minors and violence that we're seeing in the real world. So, Professor, how in the world could you say such a thing that there's no evidence? There are 30-some studies in the last several years participated in by the American Medical Association and others that draw a direct link between violent entertainment that teens play and real increased aggression and violence. So it's simply a misstatement. I assume you misspoke.
No,
to
I didn't
suggest,
misspoke.
Well, you can't,
unfortunately,
you're like...
are ignorant of statistics and don't really understand those studies.
The American Psychological Association is ignorant.
You're apparently too rude to even listen to the
I'll
answer to your
listen.
question. Good. Those studies show correlations between watching video games and violence. They do not show causation.
No.
And the
Apparently,
fact of the matter is levels of violence
What's the
have
difference
not...
between
levels of-
correlation and causation?
there's a big...
Correlation means that two things are happening at the same time. Causation means that the first thing causes the second to happen. So the fact of the matter is, you can look and see that levels of violence have not increased
Oh, no, they
with
have.
the advent of video games. No, for example, here in New York
Wait,
City...
do I get...
There you go. You know, walk down memory lane. That guy, Jack Thompson, has been disbarred, I think, right? He can't practice. That's not him. He can't practice law anymore. He was such a scumbag. You guys remember that guy? What a dick. What a dick. Okay, hang on a second. All right. You play video games to get your sick shit out of your system, says official. It keeps you busy and off the streets. I agree. Look, I mean, here's what I'll tell you now. I'm going to be honest with you. So I was playing this shit out of Hot Shots Racing. Was it yesterday maybe on the stream? All these days blend together. And afterwards I went to take my son to a friend's house and I had to get on the freeway and stuff. I was sitting there in my mind, I'm like, I could fucking bash these cars and shit like that. I mean, games do affect the way you see the world, but so what? It doesn't mean you actually act on these impulses. So, you know, it's, I mean, that guy's been discredited. He's been disbarred. No one's going around assuming that that's the case anymore. Look, I had somebody ask me a long time ago. He says, well, what if it was true? What if it was true that the games that you worked on, Jaffe, could bring about violence in a meaningful number of people or a direct relationship? Not just like, oh, this guy was already about to get triggered and you were the trigger. If it was more like, if you play those games that Jaffe worked on, you will have a high % chance or even a medium % chance of killing someone. would you stop doing it? And I was like, yeah, I would. I'd like to think I would. I'd like to think I'm a good enough human that I would. My friend, GTA 5 on PS4 in first person, he almost went off the road that day and said he thought about it was a game for a minute. Right. You can play enough of a game that it does affect the way you see the real world for a few hours afterwards. But unless you're psychotic, you're able to kind of go, okay, well, I know this is the game affecting me. And you're not actually going to act on it. Okay. So you guys tell me in the chat, this game is balls to the walls action. I haven't played a flight sim in a long time, or if I did, that's not true. This is like a panacea to Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I did not like. I respected it. It's too fucking simmy. When I got in this for a test run today, because I wanted to make sure it played on the stream, not all these games play on the stream well. They don't play well with OBS. I was like, oh my God, this feels so much better to play. This feels so much better to fly. So it is a absolute crazy action game, but it is surrounded by a lot of fucking cutscenes. I am more than happy to watch the cutscenes with you guys, or it's like, fuck it, Jaffe, we just want to talk and see you fly the airplane around. Let me know in the chat. I'll wait and get a consensus. Joe says, if someone played Doom video game and had a feeling to murder real people, that would be a problem. When you kill in real life, you will go to a real prison and get your... Okay, yeah. Sure, that would be a problem. I don't think people really do that. Wrath says, Jaffe, I watched a documentary on homelessness in Skid Row. It was insane. Entire blocks of homeless people. It's so bad. How do you fix it? Well, I mean, I don't know how to fix the problem of homelessness other than to say... I mean, here's what I would say. I think to fix the problem that is homelessness, you really have to get to the foundations of capitalism. I mean, people are homeless. A lot of people will tell you people are homeless because they don't want to work, because they're lazy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm sure that's a small percentage. Most people who are homeless have mental problems and or they have fallen on very hard times, and our society doesn't do a great job at helping people get up after they've fallen. And a lot of people will say, you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps. People who say that are people that were born with bootstraps. It's easy. It's not easy, but it's possible to pull yourself up off your bootstraps if you've got some resources. A lot of people don't have those resources. So sometimes those resources is just cognitive mental ability to think your way out of a problem. So I think if we weren't so greedy and selfish in capitalist society, we probably wouldn't have so many homeless people. That's what I would say. I think capitalism has made us a cruel, mean group of people. And I hate that. But again, that sounds like more of a Sunday conversation. So we'll have that Sunday if you want. So I'm waiting. Do you guys want to watch the fucking cutscenes or not? Let's do a test real quick. I want to see how badly this chat is delayed. I may need to restart the stream. I'm not going to say it yet, but I'm going to say the word now. When I say now, can everybody who hears it just hit the number 1? Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, now. That's 13 seconds. That's a 13 to 14 second delay. That's unacceptable. What is going on? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? That's terrible, you guys. Hang on. Okay. Hang on, fellas. I'm going to do a test. I'm watching the stream right now. So here's the test. Test starts now. 1, 2, hang on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, 13. I'm going to do a test. I'm 14, watching the stream right now. 15, so 16. Here's the test. 17. Test starts 18. Now. 1, 2. It's an 18-second delay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, 13. I'm going to do a test. I'm 14, watching the stream. Okay. Here's the deal, fellas. I'm going to kill the stream. I'm going to rerun the stream. It'll be like a minute. It'll be the minute afterwards. And then you'll see the stream come back online. If you want to stick around, I hope you do. We're instant minutes away from playing Ace Combat. But yeah, we got to restart this stream. That delay is absolute shit. I'm going to get a minute to wash out the system, and I'll see you guys on the other side. I apologize about that. That's a YouTube issue. I have no idea what's going on, but hopefully this next time